It's casual, not formal. It's hosted by Rory Pendlin, and Renee in tow. It's time to start the show. 1, 2, 3, go!
Hello, welcome to another episode 94 of It's Casual, the latest incarnation of It's Casual. So I can't even remember how many shows I did on the other old one, but I get so many hits on those old clips because they have Sandra Prill in them, the singer, and people go looking for them. In any case, we have a very special show for you because there's a couple guys coming on the show here. That I knew when I was in Shenzhen, China. They're both Australians, Aussies, and they're both in Australia now. And they're actually both in the same house right now. They're in different rooms, though. Renee was like, "Well, wait a minute. Why don't we just put them on the same camera?" they're moving stuff around, computers and stuff around. Anyway, let me bring Renee up first. My lovely producer, director / co-host.
Yeah, that was really great, and they were both in the same house, and we didn't know they were in the same house.
Right.
So we were getting an echo, and it's like, oh, because we're in the same house. So
they're
actually on two different screens now. So it's going to look like they're in two different locations, but they're actually together, which is like such a cool thing. I don't think we've had that very often. So pretty cool.
Yes, Phil moved to the booth, the control booth in the other room.
Yes, absolutely.
So I can't wait. You met Steve Walker on the show before. He came on and with his guitar and sang some songs for us about a year ago. And you know, I thought I had asked Phil Player if he wanted to come on the show. I can't remember if I did or not. And I finally asked him this about a week and a half ago, and he was like, "Oh yeah, sure, mate." So wonderful to have them both on the show. So
this is the Australian extravaganza.
Here's the crazy thing. I knew both of these guys. They both had restaurants in Shenzhen, China that I sang at, but I didn't know they knew each other. Can you believe that?
Just like you didn't know they were in the same house right now.
Exactly. So I had no idea that they knew each other. I mean, I met them through the same. I'm pretty sure I met them through the same guy, David Smith, but I didn't know that they knew each other. And what's funny is they both had a restaurant called Spurs in Shenzhen, one on one side of Shenzhen, one on the other, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But I'm looking at Phillip Player's Facebook, and I see a picture of them together. They're doing gigs together now. They live about 45 minutes away from each other, and they're doing gigs together now, you know, for senior citizens and probably wherever they can get up on a stage. And that's fantastic. I mean, I'm trying to do the same thing myself. So let's go ahead and bring them on up together, even though they're in the same house, but they're in different rooms. Steve Walker and Phillip Player. G'day, mates.
Hi.
My day is just ending now. It's
Steve Zellweger, a.k.a. You're welcome.
Can you not hear me?
I can hear you okay.
Okay, Steve can hear me okay. If you have to, maybe run into the other room.
You're breaking up.
Phil. Am I breaking up, Steve?
No, you're clear as a bell.
Okay. Yell at him to come in your room.
Phil.
You got a chair next to you there you can sit in?
Yeah, but maybe he's just silly, like muted his microphone by mistake or something. Oh, you can control that there, can't you? You know, when you get to his age.
Yeah, Renee, if you could check and see about the audio. Phillips is having trouble hearing me. I'm breaking up.
Yeah, you're not breaking up in
this room. You're breaking up a lot.
But Phillip's Wi-Fi is really
something
Phillip's
to do
Wi-Fi
with his computer, I think. Yeah. So maybe move to the other room.
Click on
Where? Here?
On the bottom bit there.
Yeah.
And make it big.
I so
Hi, y'all.
understand this. I am so technically challenged. So, should I keep talking? So
We're sorting
I
it out.
met both of these guys through
think.
David Smith, who was I worked teaching English with in Shenzhen,
I might have to
and
yeah, well, I
they
think
have
it's
both led entertaining lives. To put it mildly.
meet you.
Just grab that chair and go into the other room.
Yeah, just go. Like Steve's is perfect. There's something going on with the device that Philip is using because it's all
Yeah.
like blurry, and so if he
There
just
you
goes
go.
and sits next to Steve, it'll be
Yeah,
okay.
there you are. Grab that chair and run into the other room with Steve. We'll talk to you
Sorry
again.
about
You're in the
that,
same
guys.
place. So
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
no, it happens. We know the tech gremlins. We only know too well. So now, hopefully, you can hear me just good, just fine. It is 6:12 here.
AM or PM?
PM. It's coming on the evening now. But it's like 9 a.m. there, right?
8 AM.
8
Well,
a.m. Wow.
8:15.
So
8:15.
Phil got up early in the morning and traveled to where you were. You guys
Yeah.
had breakfast?
Only because he knows I make a good omelette.
He made a very good omelette. So when I arrived, everything was beautiful. He'd made an omelette. I'd already fought the traffic down the highway, down the motorway, arrived here on time, and all was good.
Oh, man.
Just
That's
put me in the
great.
shower. That was all.
Well, I didn't catch him completely in the shower. I know the show is called It's Casual, but here in Australia, if you say it's casual, we'll just roll up with no clothes on, maybe wearing a pair of thongs, and that's it.
I'll speak for yourself, mate.
All right. You're casual.
That would make for an interesting episode. Renee, would you like to see these two guys on a thong?
What?
Oh yes, of course. Speaking for all the females, of course. Yeah.
I'm looking for wife number 6.
Really? Have you been married 5 times? Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow.
Different country, different wife, Rory. You know how I am.
You have bounced around quite a bit. Again, I met you in Shenzhen. I know that you spent some time in probably in Hong Kong. My guess is you guys ended up in Shenzhen, both of you guys, because you had businesses going on in Hong Kong. Am I right?
No, Steve had stuff in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
I
know
I
that.
was over in the Philippines and then came over to China.
Okay, so Philippines first. But you were doing some boxing promotion. You were announcing boxing.
I was doing ring announcing most of throughout Asia, world title fights for the WBC.
Yeah.
Around in Macau, Hong Kong, Singapore, things like that. Yeah.
I knew you were doing Hong Kong. Yeah, when we were in Shenzhen, you would pop over the border.
Yeah.
With that gold coat.
With the gold jacket, the gold sequins.
Yes. And I love that coat so much. You took me to your tailor, which was not far from my house.
Up in Lohu.
Yeah,
you had some
Lohu.
suits made. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. I had all my suits and my Elvis outfits made there, and Bruce Lowe is is a thing because of that tailor. Bruce Lowe is one of the characters I do.
I see some of your characters. I like the one where you do your monsters. The monsters. I like the monsters. The one with your glasses and your back teeth.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, you like
Harriet,
Roland?
Hewitt.
Roland Pruitt. Everybody
that's
seems
the
like
one I'm
Roland.
gonna get my teeth.
Hold on, he's going to get his teeth.
He's got some teeth too. You know, I'm a firm believer in
the tricky
teeth.
thing is, he doesn't use false teeth. He's going to get his teeth. That's a bit scary, right?
There you go, Rook. Welcome to Florida. How are you?
Lady,
Very good, mate.
didn't mean to
Very
hurt
good.
anybody.
Yeah, where are you, mate?
Yikes.
I haven't got me yet.
We've
Yeah,
actually
both
got
is
some
good.
character shots that I gave to
Yeah.
Renee, and she can actually put up. You are a character. There's no
Oh,
doubt.
they put up my night this morning, eating your omelette.
He just said they're only new teeth, but he's got yellow stuff on them already. I'm a bit worried about it.
My name's Chadwick, by the way.
See, here we have
This morning.
here we have one of your characters.
Yeah.
Let's roll. That's Blakey, John Wayne.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, you're enjoying the life out there.
That's me and my horse.
Right,
Enjoying the-
right. You've got like a little
That's a
ranch,
horse
I
called
guess.
Sirocco.
There's Milo and Clyde. I was going to show that later, but that's okay.
That's my
Clyde
son
is your
and
son.
his pony.
Yeah, Clyde and his
That's
pony.
the-
There they really
The
are.
real one.
That's the real Clyde and Milo.
He's quite the cowboy too.
He is. He's a gem. He won a school competition, a talent competition recently, doing the Man from Snowy River.
Oh.
10 years old, 15 verses, and
Wow.
cracked the stock whip during it. So he did very well.
Cracked his
very
whip.
proud of him.
A little Indiana Jones too, huh? So, okay. I met Phillip Player in 2007, I believe it was. You had a restaurant there. It's not a club. Called the Polo Restaurant.
Yeah, the Polo Garden Western Restaurant.
And I met you through David Smith, and we were working for a Sun Moon Education Group at the time. We were teaching English.
He was a character, wasn't he?
Oh my God! Well, he ended up going to jail for 4 years. They caught him molesting girls, and one of them was a police captain's niece.
Yeah.
So as rich as he was, he ended up going to jail for 4 years.
He had put cameras in ladies in the girls' toilets and things like that in the
Oh
dormitory.
my God!
Very weird character.
You
yeah.
mixed with you two.
No. I didn't mix them. I mixed with Rory. I blame
unsavory
Rory.
characters. Yeah.
No.
Is that good to be present?
He, I don't think Sun Moon ever came to Polo, did he?
No, not to my knowledge.
Yeah,
no.
yeah. Again, I think David tried to arrange something, but he was weird. Sun Moon was just a very strange person, and again, like you said, we knew about the cameras in the girls' dormitories and stuff like that he had set up, and he had that special lock on his door he could lock from behind his desk, and he was just very creepy. And we all ended up leaving, luckily, like right before the police came for him. We were gone like a year before. We all got fed up with him and his shenanigans, and we left. All the teachers.
It's getting bad now, like molesters and predators around the world. It's just becoming disgusting.
Yeah. So, when we found out, what kind of person he really was, we took off. We didn't want to be any part of that. So, but Polo Restaurant was a nice place. Very, very.
Well,
nice
you sang at Polo when I had Polo, then also at Amigos. You came down and did some shows at Amigos,
right.
which was a
You had
Mexican
Amigos
restaurant.
next. Yeah. Well, the thing was somehow you found out that I could sing, and that I had done Roy Orbison shows.
And Elvis Presley and Sinatra, Dean Martin.
You found out about Sinatra and Dean Martin later. I actually put the Dean Martin set together just for you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. What about Wayne Newton?
Because you like the Sinatra so much.
I love Wayne Newton. Wayne Newton's my big favorite.
Oh, I could have done Wayne Newton. It would have taken me a while to get the set together, but I could have done Wayne Newton. Dunker Shane, darling, Dunker Shane.
It's Wayne. It's Wayne.
But and Steve liked my Roy Orbison.
Oh yeah,
but
one of the best Robertson tributes I've heard. Actually.
Well, thank you.
And I've been to a few.
Steve's a great Neil Diamond, as you know. You do Roy Orbison, Steve does Neil Diamond.
I didn't know you did Neil Diamond.
Yeah,
that's
that's
funny. I didn't know, and I didn't know you guys knew each other. That's the crazy thing. Until just a couple, like a month or so ago, you posted a thing showing you together, and I was like, I didn't know they knew each other. We never hung out together.
About 2004, 2003, 2004 in Shenzhen,
Sherco.
Same place, Sherco.
And my promotion photos he took actually back in 2005.
Yeah.
I was running a bar there called Beatles, and then later on,
Roma.
I had the first honky tonk country music bar,
right,
which was Spurs.
Became Spurs.
Where we had like some good old American boys as a band. We also had a Russian band, a Russian Johnny Cash, an English Johnny Cash. Johnny Hutton.
A Russian Johnny Cash.
Oh, we had a Russian Johnny Cash at Spurs, yeah.
God. That's too funny. I've heard of the Korean Elvis, but I haven't heard of the Russian Johnny Cash yet.
We had a great Johnny Cash.
Well, I hear the train coming. It's coming down the bend. I ain't seen the
Yeah.
sunshine since I don't know when.
You don't know when, I don't know when, you don't know when, I don't know when. So what do I do? Well,
What?
And so, and again, Steve Walker had a club, or it's not a club, a restaurant called Spurs. You guys kept telling me it's not a club.
no, what I had Spurs the club. He had Spurs the restaurant, which were in
Okay.
2 different locations.
And
Who
Polo
and
was a
Sherco?
restaurant.
Yeah, Sherco was the bar, which was a honky tonk. China's only honky tonk, and then Spurs. Then when I left, Steve took over Spurs and moved it to Lohu as a restaurant and KTV, wasn't it? KTV,
Yeah, KTV,
Right.
and
It was
had
more of a
stage, of
karaoke.
course, and we did live music there, and which Rory came along a few times and did a few songs for us.
Yeah.
And speaking of the only honky tonk bar
in China.
in China, I actually changed the name of Spurs to Swingers.
No,
So they had this bar called Swingers Bar. The Chinese had no idea.
I've had all the marriages, but he's a swinger.
No idea. And all of a sudden, these strange people start turning up. Just a Swingers Bar? Yeah. But if they're expecting swinging, sorry, no, it was just the name.
I thought
of the
Rory
bar.
came to the bar looking for a swingers club.
Well, that's how we met.
He was
wasn't it?
looking for the swingers club.
Yeah.
Now we know the truth about Rory.
I was a
We could
happily
take on
married
that
man.
as well.
Oh, later. We remember you when you were single. And now you've got a beautiful daughter. You had a beautiful daughter in China.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, Tina has come to both your clubs or restaurants.
She's
She
only,
came to
she's only a
Amigos.
tiny tot then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what photos
she was
of you
like
guys doing the heart
5
thing?
or 6 years old when she came to Amigos, and yeah, he took a picture of us in Spurs there by Lohu. I guess she was about 10 then,
Yep.
and she rode that. He used to have these big ponies on wheels.
Yeah,
People
the Cowboy
would
did.
ride
That was another
around
business
the
that I had
club.
in there. Yeah, they ride on toy horses, which I ended up bringing a container of them to Australia.
They were like,
And,
they were like ponies.
Yeah, we're
And-
starting to franchise them here in Australia. And
Yeah.
out of 168 horses, like small, medium, large horses, ride on. I got them made up in Dalian. Each one of them, every one of them broke. The fur fell off, the wheels broke, the frame broke. Australian kids are bigger than Chinese kids. And the whole business just lost too much money. Like I gave the idea
No
away.
quality control in the fake horse business.
No, surprising. But
That's
they were fun, weren't they? They were really good.
That's the problem and a lesson for everybody, especially Australians and Americans going to China to do business. Make sure that you have your own quality control person,
Right.
and one that can't be bought.
I lost about 1,000 US trying to get some demo bikes, electric bikes, shipped over to America to a customer here. I brokered it through a good friend of mine from high school, and I just didn't check out the factory well enough beforehand. Of course, they made all kinds of claims that they could do exactly what we needed them to do, and then the bikes show up late in America, in Florida, and they have no VIN numbers on them. It's
Same story.
It was a mess. It was a mess. The guy was so upset. I ended up having to pay for most of it.
No, the lesson is you've got to have your own quality control person. Your
Yeah.
own. Bring one in.
Yes.
You must have your own.
Yes. Well, and again, okay, let's talk about the reverse Chinatowns for a bit here. In Shuko, which was the reverse Chinatown, it was the foreign town for expats really to go to. There was a lot of steak and pizza and burgers and stuff out there, and there were pubs. You had the Macaulay's pub chain. The other one was Coco Park.
Yeah. There was
to
also
my
a
knowledge-
Macaulay's at Coco, wasn't there?
Was that
There was also a Macaulay's at Coco Park as well.
right? That was the big one in Shenzhen. I believe all the ones in Shenzhen closed down. The Macaulay's. They still have the one in Guangzhou, I heard. But
Yeah, I know that the ones in Sherco and Coco Park have closed.
yeah.
I think
So
the pandemic cleaned everybody out.
yeah.
Cleaned everybody out.
Yeah. So again, at that time when we were all there, again we had these reverse Chinatowns with the foreign towns where we could go, and you guys had Polo and Amigos was actually kind of, I mean, it was kind of the reverse of that. I mean, you actually were functioning in Chinese, basically Chinese areas, you know, and you had staff that all spoke Chinese, and you were able to make it work.
Well, my staff in Polo were all Chinese, apart from my band, which
Mhm.
were Filipino.
Yeah.
And the girl I had as my manager, Maple, she's now in Canada. The best manager I ever had, Mabel. She was Filipino. Great hospitality workers.
Mhm. Yeah, Marisol came on the show a couple
Marisol,
weeks ago.
she's in Saigon or Vietnam now singing.
Right. She
Little
was,
girl, huge
she was
voice.
on the show a few
huge
weeks back.
voice.
Yes, she's a wonderful singer and a wonderful artist too. She's just amazing.
She is sensational.
So I'll have to send her the link to this show.
She'd be a wonderful guest on your show, and she's an artist also.
She was.
Still is. She's still kicking. She's still alive.
Yeah, she showed us her art again. We got to hear some of her singing. We had a clip that we played, and again, she's traveling and doing all of it for a reason. She's just very talented, and again, a very good person too. So yeah, before the pandemic hit, you guys were there in Chaco and Shenzhen and making things happen. You started Trust Trade, Steve, just before I left. And how's that going? And tell us about it.
Well, yeah, it's been 2012, I think it was, just after WeChat started, which is 2011. And when WeChat started, I could see this as a platform for my vision of Trust Trade. So, but of course, Trust Trade was started because we were just talking about before. Who do you trust when you want to do business in China? You really we all got burnt. So I thought we have to trade some trust here. So the Trust Trade came about. So,
but even outside of China, you're still doing that, right?
Since then, yeah, it's one of those things that I've started. I should have done a lot more with it. It's just dawdling along. But I've got to the point where I need investors or business partners, and I'm sort of no self-discipline. I'm a bit lazy. It's just dawdling along, but really it's got a lot of potential for Alibaba size, I believe, business. So
well,
if anyone's out there, investors want to get involved, I'm open to suggestions.
Yeah, we were doing a networking group, Abnet, there as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was actually very successful when we were doing that. And I mean, I did it up until, basically just before I left. And again, they like to get together and network and, help each other out. Business people that are running small businesses, it just makes sense.
If I'd still stayed there, perhaps it would be a lot bigger because we're starting to do the trade show circuit through Canton Fair and all that. So the idea is get all those businesses that are displaying there at the exhibitions would be Trust Trade member. Then you go to them and then you get to do a bit of a special offer and that sort of thing. So, and someone you can trust. But a lot of potential still with that business. But of course, I'm back in Australia and not pushing it, but I should be.
Right. Well, and again, I got a good feeling that things will take off with that. Again, it's something it's relevant. People want it.
Yeah,
build it.
Exactly. And it's not just China; it's actually global. Any country, can have members.
Exactly. The guy that started Abnet in Shenzhen, he's doing it in Jakarta now. So, in Indonesia.
Yes, and Bia. Remember Bia she did the Sherco branch.
Yeah, Bia Patzner. She actually kind of took it over from him when he left China.
She did. And she's left China too now.
What was his name? Brown, right? Alan Brown.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
he's in
you
Indonesia.
left China and went where after that?
Me or Phil?
I was asking you. I'm going to ask Phil that next.
Well, I was in all the time I was in China. I had a place in Hong Kong as well. So I was back and forth. Back in the days when you could cross the border freely, like sometimes twice a day through Lahu and Shenzhen and Hong Kong. So
that's changed.
The main company is in Hong Kong, the setup. But after that, I did come back to Australia. That's when I imported the toy horses and that sort of did few things like that.
Philip, you ended up going to Thailand,
Thailand.
right?
Thailand. Went to Chiang Mai, opened a bar there called Players, which we
Okay.
had blues and jazz bar.
That was a good bar. That
It was a good bar.
Really good. Yeah, I went there a few times.
We were doing well until the bombing started down in Bangkok, and it scared all the foreigners away. So I'm paying rent on the bar, rent on my house, all my staff, all the bands for nearly 8 months until I went broke, and then I tail between my legs. I went back to Australia. There's nothing you could do. Businesses closed down because of bombings. I think at one time the Shangri-La Hotel in Bangkok had 2 guests.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
You know,
Now,
and
you actually went back to Australia because you had to have heart surgery, right?
no, that was I went back to Australia because I went broke in Thailand because of the bombings in the restaurants. I had a heart attack.
Yeah.
After I'd come off my horse, I came off my horse, and I had 18 plates in my pelvis, and then I had a heart attack after that, and then I had 6 operations in 1 year.
Oh my goodness.
But
You've
I'm
got a
75
pacemaker
now and still kicking, so it's all good.
You've got a pacemaker now, right?
I've got a pacemaker. Yeah, I've got a friend over there in America. I think we're Pat Conroy. You might remember Pat. He used to have the submarine thing. He calls me Lazarus. I keep coming back from the dead.
You are Raza Ghul.
Something like that, yeah.
You went
Better
to
this
Lazarus
side of the
pit
flower
many
bed
times.
than the other side. Better on the sunny side of the flower bed.
But yeah, you got the horses, and you're enjoying being a daddy with Clyde, and man, it sounds
I'm a
it
single,
seems
I'm
like
a single
life is
dad.
great.
He's now 11.
Yeah,
I'm a single dad to a beautiful boy, so I'm very, very happy there.
he is a very beautiful boy. There's no doubt about that, and talented too. So you guys are doing an act together now.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that?
Well, we're doing what in Australia, the aged
The old
care.
codgers.
The old codgers.
Retirement villages are quite popular now in Australia. So people over 50, 60, 70, they group together in these different resorts. And some have got nurses, some have got more relaxed residents lifestyle, but they always seem to have, they like entertainment. So we've put together, I used to do solo there. And when Phil came along, I was so blessed that he's in the same city as me. We got the idea of the codgers. We call it the old codgers, but we cross out the old. And we do an entertainment program. It's more like a music therapy, if you like to, for some of these people. Every show is different. It's funny when we do the dementia unit, they call it, the Alzheimer's. The first time Phil did, it was so funny.
So it's kind of a vaudeville kind of show. You do some singing,
a mix of vocal and comedy, and put it together. Yeah,
we're still developing it a little bit.
And we also get Steve's idea is to get the residents involved. Like he's got some clackers, some bongo drums, and the orchestra.
Yeah.
Because they're old. Like I'm old, but some are younger than me. Some are older. Some are older. Just to get them involved, to give them as I said, it's better to be on the sunny side of the flower bed than the dark side. So music keeps everybody alive. It gives everybody a reason to live, a reason to smile.
Every song brings back 1,000 memories. Some of these
they say comedy's the best medicine.
No,
keeps you happy.
Well, it depends on the unit. Because the first time we did the dementia ward, he scared the shit out of them. They're all sitting there going in their wheelchairs, going like this, because she's up in their face singing, "Everybody loves my body," that sort of thing.
Someday.
And oh, so funny. One lady, remember, she
went, go away,
man. And Bill went, okay.
I said to Steve after the show, I said,
who knows Waltzing Matilda?
I said, I've got to give this away. I said, I'm getting too old. I can't make them laugh anymore. He said, don't worry. He said, we found out later from the nurses loved the show. But then we got told it was a dementia war. 30 seconds after we did the show, nobody remembered anything.
That's right. We could have been like the real Elvis Presley there, resurrected, and they wouldn't have known. Like,
but it's all fun. It's fun for them and it's fun for us. We're getting on. Like Steve's not as old as I am. He says, thank God for that. But it gives us a reason to keep going, and it gives them some excitement in their life. You know, like if you give up, if you just want to sit in your chair and die, well, life's no good. But you've got to keep rocking on.
That's great. That's great.
Never give up, never give in.
We have a lot of fun doing it too.
Yeah.
Renee, do we have a picture? That picture that he just held up. We have a copy of that picture.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah,
Could have
so
saved
the
this
audience
whole
can see it a little better.
He hacked my website.
How dare you?
Yes, I raped your Facebook pages.
Ah,
Rape? We could use a bit of terminology here.
no,
surely.
it's like some of my bar girls.
No, again, if you guys don't send me pictures, I go and find them. You know, that's the way it is. I know how to copy and steal off the internet.
By the way, Rory,
and-
you're looking so good these days. You look
Well,
younger
thank
than
you.
Don't you think you look
Thank you.
younger?
Looks very
Good lighting.
You look younger.
lighting.
Maybe the lighting or something there. Or something.
cosmetic. He's in the studio, so maybe he's got a
Botox or something. Yeah.
Botox makeup
No
artist there.
Botox, no makeup.
You look good, Rory.
Again, I've got
Well done.
a camera thing where I have to keep my head up, looking upwards, so
It
I don't
helps.
get
You can't see
the
the
tire
wrinkles.
around my face.
That's a good idea. We should try that.
Try
Yeah,
that.
you-
Oh, look up there. Hey, Rory, how you doing up there? Hey, yeah, mate, all right.
Look up at the ceiling.
There's your
There
mother's
we go, the
joke,
ceiling.
Rory.
Well done.
All right, I'm going to touch on a subject here that was touchy is definitely the word for it. Steve comes up to me one day, and he goes, "I've got these guys coming into my rooms in." Let me explain what WeChat is. It's kind of the Facebook of China, and there are rooms there you can chat with people. And there was these knuckleheads called the China Circle Jerks that were coming into rooms, and they were spamming the rooms with gay porn. Just for fun. That was their way of getting a laugh. You know, they thought it was funny. And Steve, you knew another friend of mine, Don Braswell, who was in China there, I believe, because you thought that I had some background in law enforcement. Don did, but I didn't. And you said,
Don, yeah.
can you come into one of these rooms and see if you can scare these guys and see if we can put a stop to this? And I said, well, I'll go into the room. I'll take a look. And little did I know, I just thought it was, 2 or 3 guys just being jerks, and it turned out to be this like group of 50 guys that all had like 3 or 4 different identities on WeChat. So it seemed like 200 guys. And it was much bigger than I thought it would be. And wow, that was craziness. They went after Steve, saying all kinds of terrible things about him.
What things I've done.
And then they
Terrible.
came after me because I was screenshotting their IDs and posting their IDs, going, "Hey, these guys, don't let them in your rooms and stuff." So they would have to change their IDs, which costs money.
Oh yeah, looking back
They were
on
coming
those
after
days,
me, and oh my god, it was a
Yeah,
terrible
it's a-
war for me for like 3 or 4 months.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, nearly lucky my mental health was strong because it took a lot. I had
must
to
have been
dig
after I
deep in
left.
those days to get through that. Yeah, they're trolls.
Yeah, they were
The
trolls.
worst
They were
kind,
internet
trolls.
trolls is what they were.
They
It
gave
was
us
a
hell,
very
didn't they?
well.
Yeah.
They were very, very. How do I say this? They had
Nice,
they
man.
had like plans. They
was
really
their
worked
agenda.
out their
Destroy-
routine.
to
To
destroy
get into
someone's life.
rooms, they would put a guy in the room to hide in the room and gather information, and he was like a
Oh.
mole. And then he would
Relentless.
pull them into the rooms. And
Oh,
again,
they-
they would change
yeah.
all of their names. They would change their pictures and stuff, so you wouldn't recognize them from identities they had before. You would. So again, I was every time I saw this going on, I'd screenshot all of their cards, all their IDs, and say, "Hey, look, these guys, don't let them in your rooms." But man, they were
Oh,
just
yeah,
they were
totally.
terrible.
Mm.
Yeah,
Luckily, WeChat eventually changed their rules and changed their operation, how they set up the platform and everything, and they were able to get these guys out and keep them out. And that's what put an end to it.
Oh yeah, they were
But
terrible.
wow,
weren't they?
yeah, it was just very, very damaging. There was one guy that they went after, and he lost his job. He was in. Anyway, he was a teacher on the coast. He lost his job. He ended up having to go to Hong Kong to get away from all of it.
Jesus.
Well, some people lost their lives because of trolls. What they want to do is their target is to destroy someone's life, and that's what they do. They get together at the beginning of the day. Who are we going to target this week? Okay, and they target relentless. As David was just saying, and oh boy, really, I don't know how I got through those days. I almost.
But if you hadn't pulled me in there, I actually was responsible for a lot of them quitting. stopping doing it because they got
You did
afraid.
well. Yeah, you
They
did
got
very
afraid
well.
because we were screenshotting them,
Mm.
and they were afraid that we were going to turn the tables on them. We
That
didn't
was
because
good.
they were just too powerful, and WeChat wouldn't cooperate in the beginning. But but yeah, there was several guys in the beginning that just dropped out. This is too much.
Some
They
of them
got
were,
guys
but-
that are screenshotting our IDs and stuff. So
Well, you know what trolls are like. That by getting back to them, and what you did was screenshot them. The way their mentality is, they think that they're famous. And so you're
yeah,
actually
some
feeding
of
the
them thought
trolls,
that was great.
which is
They-
reverse
Feeding their
psychology.
egos.
But it didn't
Yeah.
work out that way.
We were giving some of them the
the
attention. Those were the real trolls. We were giving them the attention they wanted, and eventually I
right.
realized don't give them
trolls.
the attention. And again,
Don't give them
WeChat
attention.
changed
Just
all their rules, and
Totally ignore them is the best way to deal with trolls. Everybody, by the way.
turn your back on them. Don't
You ever
don't
get
let
troll
them-
attacks? We've learned just ignore completely.
Yeah.
Completely. Don't even just pretend you didn't even see it. That's the best way.
But that was that was a really hairy situation for
You're
both.
just
of you and
reminding
I.
me of that, Rory. Yeah.
For a
That was,
while. Yeah.
whew. But we got through it. We survived.
Yeah. Yeah.
Luckily,
Yeah.
luckily now,
It
most
turned
people
out
have
that
common sense.
some of those guys were like really from really well-to-do families. They had fantastic jobs. You know, I
Yes.
actually met a couple of them in Guangzhou.
They just had a
and
screw loose
Shut up.
upstairs.
Yeah. And again, I agreed to meet them because I wanted to, what was it? It's like when you prove that something that you think is right, you know, like, I think it's this guy, you know, and then it turns out, okay, yeah, it is that guy. You know, again, early on, they were using their real faces on their IDs.
Yeah.
And then later, they changed them all. So
Well,
again, I agreed to meet a couple of them.
that was your philosophy.
They were trying to pull me into their fold.
psychologist.
They're trying to make me a troll. I was like, no, that's not my thing.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Your psychology was curious. That's
If you can't beat them, join them. So they were trying to get me to join them, and I was like, oh, come on, man.
Yeah.
No. So yeah, that was a really, really weird. That was 2015. That was a really.
Yeah, thanks for
weird year.
reminding me. I tend to forgot about that because, like most things, if anything negative, you walk
Yeah,
away.
just
But
and I'm sorry if I brought back
talking about it
painful
now, oh
memories.
boy, yeah, I remember how I felt.
But I did want to talk about this particular subject on the show because it is something that's serious. Like
It's
you said,
relevant.
it can cause somebody to just go nuts or lose their mind or, you know,
You see
even
some-
kill himself.
then
You know, if these people are
People
relentless and they
who kill themselves, yeah. The
keep
troll attack.
trolling you,
Every
you know.
now and then it's on the news, someone
Yeah.
suicided, and you think, why did they do that? Then you look in the background, they were
They've got to be sick
attacked,
units.
a troll attacked.
They've got to be sick units.
Relentlessly.
they thought
As David just
they
said.
thought it was
So
funny.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
that's how
Terrible.
they got their jollies.
So it makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Australia.
Positive. Let's talk on the positive note here.
Yeah. Let's go
Yeah.
back to Australia.
Aussie,
Again, I
Aussie,
just
Aussie.
wanted to touch
Oi,
on
oi, oi.
Thank you very much.
oi, oi, oi.
Hey, do you reckon
so-
I can get $10? No, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
No, we won't.
You reckon you can do that?
No, because we can't see everybody. That's only us.
You don't reckon you can get a remark? I don't reckon you can get a remark.
No, I think I shouldn't have raised the issue. Rory's looking at us going, what are these two guys talking about? We got one of our.
They've broken out on their own show. I'm
Yeah, we're doing. That's right. We just broke up in one of our routines. We won't go there.
Okay.
Change the subject.
But yeah, it's so crazy that you guys know each other. I mean, again, I didn't know that until just recently.
Oh yeah, and also
But
We knew
Phil
each other
now-
before we knew you.
yeah.
and that makes sense. Again, you both had a
And,
restaurant named Spurs.
Even went to Phil's restaurant, Phil's bar in Philippines even. So I've been to his bar in Philippines, I've been to his bar in Thailand, I've been to his bar in China, and now I won't have a bar of him in Australia.
Oh, thanks very much.
So-
yeah.
So he would call you to come in and sing at his different rooms.
Yeah, he hired me as an entertainer in Thailand,
Yeah.
which was great, Chiang Mai. Back in the days when I was shy-lo, because I was shy and I was hung low, something like that.
Yeah.
And same with Philippines. This guy, he's been a bit of a character. And when I went to China, and met him, he was like my mentor. I thought, wow, this
Yeah.
he's ahead of me.
That means I'm old. That means I'm old, Rory. When I'm a mental, mental. Did you say mental or mental?
I said mental. Yes.
Mental. Yeah, I'm mental. Yeah, he's right. Yeah.
Do the dementia ward.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
They love him there for some reason, probably because of birds of a feather.
Now, here's an interesting fact. And do you know who his dad is?
Yeah, well, only recently, by the way.
He told you recently.
Only recently,
Yeah, when I was in China, I was at Amigos. He told me I think I said something in the fact that I'm a James Bond fan. And he goes, "Oh, well, my dad was Guy Dolman. He was in Thunderball." And I was like, "I know who Guy Dolman was. Yeah, he was Count Lippy."
He
And
was
we
Count
talked for
Lippy
about-
and in the funeral in Berlin with Michael Caine, he was
He
Colonel
did the
Ross.
Michael Caine, Harry Palmer films too. He was his
Yeah.
boss. Yeah, there he is.
There he is.
No, you can see the good looks.
The good looks running the family. See?
Only on the side. Though.
Let me
He's
tell
not
you
quite
something.
sure. The other
right
guy
now.
took it his
There he
way.
is, as Count Lippy.
Cool.
It's nice to meet you.
I
And
can
that's
tell,
him on
you
the
can see it,
the
Phil,
TV
with the-
show
Same
That's
hair, hairstyle.
The Prisoner. He played number 2 on
Very
The
good.
Prisoner. So yeah, Guy Dolman is his dad.
He with royalty.
He's passed on now. His best friend was Fred Astaire. Fred Astaire. They did
Really?
a movie together here in Australia many years ago called On the Beach about a submarine that was at the end of the world.
Mhm.
And he and Fred Astaire became very close friends. And then it was Fred Astaire who took Guy to America at the time, and then Guy went on to London. And they stayed friends until, and my dad passed in Los Angeles in 1976.
Right.
Yeah.
Was it? It was 76.
76, yeah.
I could have swore I saw him on an episode of. It was.
Could have seen him on an episode, but it would have been undone before.
What's the thing with Angela Lansbury? She plays the author.
Oh, I know the show.
Murder, She Wrote. He was on
Murder, She
Murder, She
Wrote,
Wrote.
yeah.
And that was in the 80s, I'm pretty sure. I thought.
Could have been shot before then, but he passed in 76.
76. Interesting. Okay. I'll double check that fact because I could have swore it was like an 80s show that he was doing. I saw it was one of the last things that he did. But yeah, that's fascinating. I wanted to ask you how you found out that he was your dad. If I could.
No, that's all right. Because my mother was married as many times as I was. She was an actress, Cynthia Ross.
Yeah.
She was a theatrical actress and singer. And then later on, she married a doctor, Harry Player, whose name I carry. But Guy and my mother were lovers before her marriage and after, back in those days. And then Guy at that day became my godfather in them.
Okay.
And wasn't until I was about 13 when I was watching, he was on a Whiplash, and my uncle was with me. He said, "Oh, that's your dad." I'm going, "Yeah, he's my godfather." He said, "No, he's your dad. You can see the resemblance." And then later on, when I was in London, we got we met at Victoria Station. He came up to see me, and he's come out, and we looked at each other, and we just came together. And I said, "Go." I didn't know whether to call him Guy or Dad, and he had a beautiful speaking voice. And he said, "You do know that you're my son, don't you?" I said, "Yes." And we spent the next week together at his house down in Dorset. And it was
awesome.
it was wonderful. We bonded then, sort of thing.
Good, very good. Now and again, this explains why you're so into performance. You actually impersonated Elvis for a while, right?
I did for a little while. Thank you very much. Yes,
Yeah, you would get angry with me when I would do Elvis.
I just used to get angry with the shoes that you wore.
No, you would tell me, "No, you're being Rory, you're not being Elvis. Come on."
I thought it was just
Rory
the
singing
shoes. Sorry.
But
sorry.
I still have the rings you gave me. I even got one of them right here. That's a
Yeah, because I said that's why I
ring.
said you gotta bling up, isn't it?
Yeah.
We,
I
we
wear
do
those-
Elvis here. We do Elvis in the show here with Steve and I. Yeah.
Yeah, I still wear them when I do Dragon Elvis. And you are an author now.
Yes,
You're
yes,
getting
I've
you're
got
getting
2
into
books.
the writing business now.
Yeah, there's the Matilda Man. That's that book
Matilda
there.
Man.
That's Clyde. That's it's,
That's Clyde.
no, sorry. This is the Adventures of Milo and Clyde, of my
Now,
son.
did you write
Clyde,
that?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a story of a make-up story. It's almost a true story about
Almost.
Clyde and his Shetland pony. The horse ends up getting kidnapped by a circus clown and a strong man, but they come together. And this is a novel called The Matilda Man. It's about an old, which we call a swaggy. You've sort of like Boxcar Willie. You have Boxcar Willie characters in America. Well, Dobson is a character here who's like a swaggy who's around the bush back in the early 1800s, early 1900s. It's full of betrayal and friendship and etc. in the bush, in the outback of Australia. But all these are available on Booktopia, Amazon, etc. So do yourself a favour, as Molly Meldrum would say here, and get yourself a copy.
You can show a close up of your face there. He is the guy on the front cover.
There it is, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
The shoot.
He is the guy on the cover. He's the Matilda Man.
Yeah. Matilda
Kenny
Man.
Waltz.
Sorry?
Kenny Waltz.
Kenny Waltz?
Is he the
He
Waltz?
can boogie woogie. Can boogie woogie, brother.
Wow.
He may be all about the boogie woogies as well as waltzes and rocks and rolls. Does that law?
I'm
Steve,
trying to write a book too. I'm writing a book, but
you're writing a book too. Please tell us about it.
Yeah, I'm halfway through.
Yeah, he's woulda, coulda, shoulda. That's it. Yeah.
I've changed the title. The first part, originally I was going to call it "Avoiding Success." I was pretty good at that.
I wrote one called "The Bachelor's Guide to Post-Apocalyptic Success."
Okay, that's a good one.
I'm working on the sequel to that one now.
Right.
The Bachelor's Guide to Post-Apocalyptic Dating.
When it's out, we'll let you know. We can do a review.
I got a publisher here. If you want to publish it in America, he'll get it on Amazon and get it into the bookstores for you. He just signed up with Barnes and Noble. So
okay, is your book?
I don't know.
Phil's books through there as well.
It's on Amazon.
Oh,
Booktopia, Utopia. It's on a few different. It's also in Italian and German.
Okay,
awesome.
When it's done, I'll let you know, of course. But I don't have the self-discipline.
Don't forget, in America, if you want to know about Australia, the Matilda Man.
Oh, there you go, and it's on Amazon.
Thank you, Rory, for the plug there.
I always like to help people plug their books and shows and stuff.
Thank you very much.
Are you prepared to sing for us, Steve, or is your guitar not close by?
I've always got my guitar close by.
Well, I'll get you the guitar. Which one do you want? You've got so many of them.
Either one.
Whatever's
close. And what's funny was if you were not in the same place, you guys wouldn't be able to sing a song together. But since you are in the same place, you can maybe do a song or two that you do in your show that you're doing now.
We don't actually do a song together, do we, Phil?
No,
Yeah, part of our routine is I start the song and he'll interrupt.
There you go.
He's interrupting with his different
kind of like
characters.
The Smothers Brothers.
Yeah, something like that. And bring Blackie in, either one.
Blackie.
But be careful of that G string.
The G string. I took it off.
I need my pick. Do you have a pick handy?
He talked about thongs earlier, but
thank you, mate.
There we go.
Did you bring the pick in? No.
Don't
worry. No, I usually have one in my pocket.
I've got shovel.
Here we go. What do we do? Do you have any requests, by the way? Does anybody there listening in have a favourite song that they want me to desecrate? Hello, everyone. Yeah, I know that one. Hello, everyone. Welcome along today. He's picking on me now. Got my pick. Whoop. Alrighty. What song can you sing? We're caught in a trap. Any requests? Rory, what would you like? I'm thinking Elvis, right? Can't you see I love you?
Please don't break my heart in two.
Screenshot there. You go. Okay, well, I know so many songs. I reckon you can name a song, and I won't be able to play it. So try me.
Can
Love
you do
Me.
Suspicious Minds? Oh, because
Suspicious Minds. There you go.
Suspicious
That's a good
Minds.
one.
You want to do Suspicious Minds? My favorite Elvis song.
We're caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. You can do the art. Can't you see what you're doing to me? Ooh, because I love you too much, baby. Don't you know I'll just do a little bit, but I don't need to drag the whole song out. Next.
We can go on together. We're suspicious minds.
Yep. Well, I can do the whole song, but I don't want to bore your listeners
There's actually a verse in there that's about Mary Tyler Moore coming to the house, coming to Graceland, and
it's an old friend I know.
Yeah.
Up and say hello.
Drops by to say hello. Evidently, Priscilla was not happy about that.
Apparently. I didn't know that.
Yeah. We'll learn something new every day, Phil.
Yeah. I thought Mary Tyler Moore was a Miss Goody Two Shoes.
Yeah. You would like to get in between those two shoes, wouldn't you?
Well, I won't say no. She'd have to ask me twice.
She was evidently jealous of a lot of his co-stars for his movies.
No mean feat.
How Wallace
I wouldn't believe she asked me the first time. Sorry, go on.
Sorry, Rory.
Priscilla is actually friends with another friend of ours, Billy Vera, who's a singer, performer in L.A. And he
hello, Vera.
He gets invited to all of her parties and stuff. So it's always fun to see pictures of him with her and her friends.
We're available for parties, weddings, funerals, divorces, engagements,
bar mitzvahs.
What song would we sing?
What would you sing at the funeral?
Yeah.
The way we were. My way. Everybody sings My Way at a funeral. I'd sing No Regrets, Edith Piaf.
Oh, very good. Okay, yep.
Long regrets, but I don't speak French.
We noticed. Okay. Yeah, well, good idea. We should put an ad in the paper for entertainment. If someone die, don't worry. We'll provide entertainment at your funeral.
So why don't you sing a few bars of My Way?
Yeah.
Or the highway, the other way.
Well, there's My Way, the highway, and the other way.
Anyway,
no way. What way? His way, her way?
Not going anywhere.
Their way.
The old codgers, ladies and gentlemen. The old codgers.
The old codgers, yeah. Hey, not so much of the old, thanks.
Every time David and you used to hang out, David Smith, you would say, "Hey, how you doing, Geezer?" "I'm doing all right, Geezer."
Oh, Geezer, all right. He's a bit of a geezer, that black guy.
And the first time I heard you guys do that, I thought David was being disrespectful.
Do you understand this when you talk to you over there?
Yeah.
I was going to bring me pets in. I got me pet kangaroo, me pet dingo, me pet emu.
Nice.
They're out in the garden now, actually, having a bit of a play out there, the dingo and the emu, the kangaroo.
I'm petrified.
What about, you're petrified of the wombat?
No, just of you.
Oh, just to meet crikey, mate.
The deadly dangerous koalas.
Oh, mate, the koalas, you got to watch the koala, mate. How much can a koala bear?
I heard a teacher teach a lesson about the deadly dangerous koalas, and I thought he was just, being cruel and funny, teaching this English lesson to his class. And then I went on the internet and looked at a koala and its claws. They have really, really gnarly looking claws. They really do.
A koala doesn't attack anybody. It doesn't. It's very, very mild mannered. It doesn't
move.
It doesn't move. It just sits on a tree, eats eucalyptus leaves, and get as high as a kite. And it's like natural marijuana.
Teaching the deadly dangerous koala lesson.
Yeah, he just faces out, looks at you with big goo eyes, going hello.
Go away.
And I went up after him. I said, "What are you teaching them that for? They're going to get scared to see koalas now." And he's like,
No,
"They're
koalas
really
are
dangerous."
beautiful things. No, you just got to watch the
He
dingoes.
kept going on. He wouldn't stop it.
You just got to watch the dingoes here.
Yeah,
Dingoes. I think in America you got like coyotes, isn't it?
Yeah,
Coyotes.
yeah.
Wild dogs. Yeah, we've had
Yeah,
we've had some bad dingo attacks lately up here in top of Queensland, up at Ruby Island, wasn't it?
Fraser
Well,
Island.
they don't
Fraser
attack
Island,
adults though, will they? They just attack kids, right?
Yeah.
Attack anyone.
Really?
It's like Wendy
Adults?
Chamberlain, the baby. The dingoes took a baby.
Yeah, there was a
It's
movie
happened
done
a few
about that.
times, you know. Yeah, it's happened a number of times.
Yeah.
And they've attacked a few people up in Fraser Island the last couple of months
Mm.
because people feed them and try and think they can interact with them, and they can't.
No.
And then they turn
They're
on
not
them.
dogs.
Yikes.
They look like dogs, but they're not. There you go.
So you're not going to do my
Any
way.
more gifts? Oh, my way. Oh.
Now, again, one of my fondest memories at Phil's club was he would kind of get lit later in the evening,
What?
and he would sing "Bad Bad Leroy Brown."
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
And
well,
man,
it's the
he had
south
those-
side of
And
Chicago.
achy breaky heart.
It's the baddest part of town.
And if you go down there, you better
But beware of a man named Leroy Brown. Now, Leroy, more than trouble. You see, he stands about a 6'4". All the downtown ladies call him Treetop Love. The men just to call him Sir. He's bad, bad, bad. Leroy Brown, baddest man in the whole damn town. Badder than old King Kong. Meaner than a junkyard dog. Boom.
and he would sing when he wasn't so lit. He would sing, and sometimes with Marisol, he would sing "Unforgettable."
Ah,
He would do a duet with her on that.
now that's a funny story. We had a Russian woman. I don't know if you were there that night. She's come into the restaurant. She's there with a group of people. They're all singing. As you say, I'd sometimes sing with a band. And then I'd go to some of the customers while I'm singing Unforgettable, and I'd dance with them. And I danced with this lady and put her back to her seat, and she smiled and everything. And 2 minutes later, she's got her head on the table. And then the friend said after, I think she's died. She's dead. And I said, that'd be ridiculous. And I lifted her up and took her out the back. And she said, you all right, dear? And I opened the mouth of it, and it was all full of broccoli. And she was dead. My kiss is killed.
Well, that's a bit of a story.
Oh,
It was a true story.
Yeah.
True story, yeah. She had a heart attack, a massive heart attack. And that everybody at the table just thought that she was tired and been drinking too much vodka.
Well, but she hated broccoli.
jeez.
Yeah. Or she hated broccoli.
That's interesting.
Or she choked on the broccoli and had a heart
She
attack.
didn't choke on the broccoli. It wasn't my broccoli. No, she had a massive heart attack and just bang, just
It wasn't
Yeah.
cream broccoli.
no, but
Wow.
nobody at the table even knew. They just thought she was tired and just slowed down.
Interesting, right?
Yeah. Had to give all the police who arrived
It's
red
a true
envelopes.
story.
money in red envelopes.
Why are we laughing at someone who just died? That's terrible.
Yeah, that's
She's
terrible.
not happy.
I didn't know that story before.
Yeah, I didn't know
So,
that.
If you don't do Bad Bad Leroy Brown in your current routine, you need to add it because Phil does it very well.
We do a bit of achy breaky.
Achy breaky heart.
Yeah.
You still got the high kicks.
The high kicks, but at my age, the back doesn't do it all. You know, the kicks only go up to my knee now.
Maybe you don't want to do the high kicks when you got a pacemaker. So, okay. So what's next for you guys?
Hey, what are we doing next? We've got a show.
I mean,
think
yes,
next
you got
month.
shows coming up, or
Weekday show.
Oh, Saturday. Steve's a young age of 50 what?
Plus 15.
65? You 65? You're catching up to me.
I'm trying to get there.
Jesus Christ, Mother
Lord.
Mary. Steve is celebrating his 65th birthday on Saturday night.
oh, happy birthday!
He's doing a Neil Diamond tribute. Then after the tribute, I might come and mess up his
At the
show.
local restaurant we've got here. It's called the White
Okay.
House.
The White House.
The White House
The
restaurant.
White
But
House.
Donald's not there. Mr. Trump's not there.
And
Sorry.
we're doing Neil Diamond.
he's terrible. I tell you.
He's fantastic.
he's terrible the way he talks about me.
He's not. He's fantastic. Fantastic. I like
Oh,
that.
wow.
Fantastic.
It's very
Oh,
good.
yes.
It's very
We've got
good.
some more shows coming up for the aged care circuit as well. Which will be
Mine has
interesting.
gone down to that gravelly Harvey Firestein Trump thing. You know,
Oh,
it's
Hey,
terrible.
he'll-
It was stolen from us.
you know, he'll beat it all. It's like his golf scores. No, he's the champion of every golf course he plays on because he owns
Yes.
the golf courses.
I have read the book, The Commander in Chief. It's a wonderful book.
I haven't
If
read
you
it.
haven't read it yet,
but
it's a wonderful book. It's his philosophy and how he does things. And again, it's a really, really interesting read.
Yeah.
It was written by a golf reporter, golf reporter, who was actually retired, but he came out of retirement to write that book about
God.
Trump and how he plays
I've
golf.
gotta get the
He always has to
Commander
have a
in Chief.
waterfall at all of his golf courses. He has to have a waterfall at the front. That's his thing.
That is
There you go. You can put that into your routine.
yeah. Very
That's a good
interesting.
impression. It's a good impression.
Thank you for that background. Thank you for that background. You know, when Trump came to Australia, you know, he went into. We've got here like machines that you can put coins in, and you get your cherry ripes and chocolates out. You know, and Trump arrived here, and he was putting all these coins in the thing, and he's getting out, and the cherry ripes are coming out, and he'd put some more dollars in, and he'd get different chocolates out, and his bodyguards come along, and he said, "Mr. Trump, come on, hurry up, we're late." He said, "Shit, and can't you get out? Can't you see I'm winning?" Poker machines.
His golf cart goes
He
twice
get away
as
with
fast
running.
as other people's golf carts.
He's
So
what,
he can
sorry?
his golf
Twice
cart
as
goes
fast.
twice as fast as other people's golf carts, so he can get to the hole first. Kick their ball in the rough. And they all just put up with it.
Kick his
It's
further
just-
on.
It's Trump. They're all like, we love playing with it because it's Trump, you know. So
Cool. That's
Two
amazing.
cheeks.
I can't believe we're ending the show on this. But thank you guys for coming on the show. A lot of fun as always, and so great to see you both again.
Great
it's
to
been a
see
while.
you too, Rory. I love seeing your paintings. I like your impressions from your car all the time.
Thank
I
you.
see those on Facebook. Very enjoyable.
I'm
So,
about to do Tommy Lee Jones.
What?
I'm about to do
What?
Tommy Lee Jones. That's going
Oh.
on tonight. Tommy Lee Jones.
Family Jones?
Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Remember him? From,
Tommy Lee. He's Will Smith's mate.
Hmm,
That's the fella.
apparently.
So there it is. Thanks again, guys.
Is the hour up already? Gee, that was
Is it?
quick.
Someone's got Jonathan
we went
Duncan. Just
overtime.
I've come up on your screen. Awesome show, fellas. Thank you, Jonathan Duncan. They're in America.
Jonathan
Goddamn, thank
Duncan
you very
is not
much,
in
mate.
America. He is in Tasmania.
He's in Tasmania.
He's our viewer from Tasmania.
Oh, he's an apple eater.
You go around the world. Apple eater.
Apple eater down
Teddy.
Tasmania.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. They do.
They're our cousins down there in Tasmania, across the water.
Indeed, indeed. All right, guys.
we
Much
didn't- we
love.
didn't
Thank
get to
you.
meet- we
And
didn't
I'm
get to
so
meet
glad
you
you
on
guys are
Renee.
together or you're hanging out with each other still.
All good,
We're
all
lucky.
good in the hood.
Lucky.
That's great.
When we first met back 20 years ago, we would not believe in 20 years' time we'll be doing this, right?
I don't think 20 years I'd still be kicking.
Wow. Did you just hear that thunder? The lightning?
Where?
Must be
All right.
America, not
Thank you, folks, for watching. And again, Mr. Steve Walker, Mr. Phillip Player, two amazing troubadours in Oz.
here. Thank you for that.
From the land down under.
Appreciate it.
The land
Come on
down
down
under.
and visit us sometime.
Don't be shy. Come
I would
on
love
down,
that.
you American people.
I
Come
would
on
love that.
down
If
there,
I
you
get the
old
chance, I'm
higher.
going to do it. If I get the
Righto,
chance, I'm
mate.
going to do it.
Bonza.
Thank you. Thank you. Renee?
Cheers.
Yes, I'm here. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Ella
Thank you,
cruising
Renee.
with dolls.
Renee, are
with
you
dolls.
married? I'm looking for wife number 6.
All right, I'll be in touch for sure. No
She's
problem.
like, she's like, there's something about Mary. Everybody wants to marry her.
Oh, I'm
They
on
all
my
love
way.
her.
Thank you. Thank you.
We all
You
love
guys
her,
are
I should say.
Aw,
Thanks very
love you
much, guys. We've had a ball.
night,
Haven't we,
everyone.
Steve?
Thank you, guys.